Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Renan Esteem and my co-host
is my boy El Camera, and I'm here to win another debate.
Alright, let's jump right into it. I saw this and I wanted to ask you, can you be a black activist if you don't date black?
No, that is a fallacy. There's no sense. Now mind you, okay, listen. I want to preface my comment by saying this. I have no problem with anybody dating any person outside their race. I think the world's a bowl of ice cream, you're supposed to get 32 flavors. Get as much as you can, right? But as a black activist, if you're preaching and promoting black, how can you do that if you don't love your own black women? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't say, I'm not saying that, you're supposed to, only date black. That's wrong also. But I think that, there's a certain beauty that black women have that is not really shown in the best light and kind of gets put down in most cases. So.
Well, okay. I bring that up because there's a lot of people that push the black movement, and I know that they don't really date black women. Like Childish Gambino has this like entire black movement behind him, and if you listen to Childish Gambino early work, he's always actually praising Asian women. But I don't feel like he can't be a black activist because he prefers Asian women or whatever the deal is. As long as you're pushing and lifting an entire generation, I'm never gonna fault you for dating somebody outside of your race.
Okay, so now I do understand. Like I said, I do understand what you're saying, but my thing is this: to say that you don't date black women is a very large statement. There's so many different type of black women. You know what I'm saying? You have women from Africa, you have women from Jamaica, Haiti. You know what I'm saying? All different places. So to say I don't date black women, you're literally taking a whole smorgasbord of women. You know what I'm saying?
None of them come out there, black activists especially, they don't come out there and explicitly say, I don't date black women. It's just their track record. You just see a decade go where they've never dated a black woman, where every woman you've seen on their arm at every red carpet event or every social movement event is always, a white woman, an Asian woman, or somebody of a different race.
But that becomes suspicious then, because like it's not to say that you dabble here and there, black, maybe Asian, Spanish, what you dabble. No, what you're saying is someone who preaches the black movement, but for some reason every time I see you, you're not with a black girl. So my question is this: the probability that you never date a black girl or never with a black girl, but you push the black movement, I'm like, how is that even possible?
It could be the person surrounding, because I know people who like black women who date white men, and these particular black women came from almost all white hometowns. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about obviously South Florida is mixed. I'm talking about they came from other places where they were like, I was like the third or fourth black kid in my school, or even the only black kid in my school. So I understand that where they developed the attraction to only white, because if that's all that was in your elementary school, all that was in your middle school, all that was in your high school, then one day you just fly out and now you live in Miami. You know what I'm saying? You might still be attracted to white people. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely understand that, and I get that mindset, because again, I had a teacher who basically there was only one black for her whole high school, middle school, elementary school career. There was one black guy, and everybody knew his name, and he was the only black guy in their schools until she went to college. Is when she got immersed in different cultures and different people. So I do understand that, but my question is this, right? We're talking about people. We're talking about black activists. Usually, a black activist. When I think of them, like you say, the Childish Gambino.
All of our activists are celebrities.
Are celebrities.
I mean, in other cultures, they have actual policy makers and so on and so forth. We have religious people and celebrities.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So when I think about that, I'm like, you're most likely in LA or in New York or one of the prominent areas. That's just me being honest. I don't really see
Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really see black activists in Utah. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see black activists in Michigan sometimes. But you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that's the only thing around you. Now I understand if we get a black activist from Utah, then you can make that argument. You know what I'm saying? He's living in Utah his life. But if you're, from Detroit, or you're from New York, or you're from South Florida, or you're from LA, Texas, all these places, there's a smorgasbord of people. So you can't tell me that you were the only person in your school in Texas. You can't tell me you was the only black person in your school in LA. Come on, man.
There was interview I think I saw of, I want to say it was Tracy Morgan, I can't remember, and he was discussing how it was a few years ago when he did the interview. He was discussing how the black community would not accept Jordan Peele, or that they're not the chosen. Either him and Key and Peele were not the chosen ones of the black community or something like that. He said, and then later, obviously, Get Out and Us comes out, and now like the black community is like, oh yeah, we bang with him, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, and he's making like black conscious films, and people are like, yo, like he's really on some like black empowerment thing. But check this out. That thought that Tracy Morgan had said, I believe it's Tracy Morgan, I don't want to misquote anybody, but that thought process of blacks don't accept him, you know what I mean? That's probably what pushed Jordan Peele. Like, other people might have had that perception of him, that he's too white, if you will, as a black man. And that probably moved him to where he started dating and married a white woman. But he never lost the fact that he's black. It's just that maybe he just wasn't accepted in that certain area that he was. Because I've personally heard it before. You sound too white or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've heard that before.
We all experienced that. And obviously Terrence Howard said the same thing. Terrence Howard said when he got to Hollywood, he hollered at every black girl out there, and every black girl out there turned him down, and he got with a white girl, and everybody was like, "Oh man, you tripping." So I do understand that, and I'm not. And like I said, I have no problem with somebody dating outside the race. But if you're gonna marry this person, you're gonna be with this person forever. Let's be honest, right? I don't remember what black activist said this, but basically they made the point to say, okay, even if you do marry somebody outside your race, let's say that person, that's your wife or whatever, husband, whatever, so they get your assets. Let's say you're a celebrity, you pass away. Where's those assets going? Are they going back into the black community? No, they're going to their community. So technically, they're stealing your assets. Well, not stealing, but
you can't say they're stealing,
but they're gaining your assets and putting it in their community instead of helping the black community. So even no matter how much of a black activist you are, at the end of the day, the stuff that unless you write a will where you say it's going to this place and going to that place, and most people don't, to be honest with you, they expect their spouse to kind of, because can they really ride? That's the question. Can those spouses really ride for the black community like you do? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this person's not your race. You know what I'm saying? This person is not, in they can see you what happens to you, but they can't truly understand how it feels to see somebody touch that person.
Obviously, they don't understand, they can never understand or experience the struggle. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a push that black people feel. There's a always on defense thing that black people feel inside themselves. You know what I mean? And yeah, they can't understand that, but you can't take away. I'm not talking about amassing the fortune and passing it over. I'm talking about contributions while alive. If Jordan Peele creates a series of films that awakens the black community to an extent, his contribution's done. That's all he had to do. You know what I mean? If a Childish Gambino makes uprising black music that makes us want to do better, then mission accomplished for him. What more does he owe society?
See, here's the thing, and you said what more do they owe society? Now, mind you, these are their crafts.
Of course.
Directing, making music, stuff like that. And obviously, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Like obviously Bob Marley and things of that nature. But the problem you see is that as much as it's great to make black movies, and I'm not discounting, perception of black people is vastly skewed, and what he's doing is a great contribution. Same thing with Childish Gambino, what he's rapping. But the thing that we need is better black communities, better black schools, better there's a lot of things that black people need that goes outside of just art. You know what I'm saying? Well, education also matters too. So what I'm saying is that contribution is amazing. But I guarantee you, if this person was, when this person's alive, he's gonna make those contributions to those other avenues. But my question to you is this: because again, that is, as humans, we realize that at some point we're gonna pass away, and what we need to know is that our family's taken care of, or you know what I'm saying, and whatever, like for instance, Bill Gates, he gave, I think he's giving like 0.01% of his company to his kids. You know what I'm saying? He's giving the rest of the money to his charities. But at the end of the day, he knows that they're giving up the company also, so they're gonna be rich. It doesn't matter. So his kids are taken care of, and also the charities that he's supporting are gonna be taken care of. Is everybody else gonna do the same thing? That's my question.
Well, listen here. What you said about us getting better schooling and better this and better that, right? Unless we're gonna build it ourselves, it will never have that.
I agree.
You know what I mean? You have tax dollars, property tax dollars goes to the schooling to fix your school. Appraisers devalue black neighborhoods. So if they devalue black neighborhoods, there's not enough tax dollars going to the schools to give us better schools. So the entire system is rigged in that way anyway.
Exactly.
So that's not. I don't see that as something that's going to happen.
But here's my rebuttal, right? LeBron James makes the the Promise School, right?
Yeah.
His wife Savannah and his three or four kids he has now, you know, they're all black. Don't you think if, let's say, hopefully not knock on wood, but let's say LeBron James meets his untimely demise, don't you think his wife would uplift that mantle of the Promise School because she's from Cleveland also, and she understands the black struggle and she understands where he came from?
Of course, I could definitely say she would.
So let me do the same scenario. Let's say LeBron James' wife was not Savannah's, you know what I'm saying, James. Let's say LeBron James' wife was Jennifer Lawrence, or you know what I'm saying, or one of these other actresses, right?
Yeah.
Do you think she would uphold that Promise School like Savannah?
I'm gonna be honest, she probably wouldn't.
So then that's my issue.
But that's where I get to. I'm just saying, when does your contribution end? When can people say you contributed enough? You know what I mean? You're talking about post. I'm talking about like during. You know what I mean?
But my question is, do you want your contribution? Do you want to be like, I did enough? I don't like my mindset is I don't want to do enough. I want to do as much as I can, even post life. That's my thing. Like I feel like you should never be okay. I made like 10 schools. That's my checkpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think there's a limit to what you can do for your community. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like nobody else I feel like the Asian community, they don't see a limit to what they can give to the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? Like the you know what I'm saying, Spanish community, they don't see a limit. Like even the Spanish people, the way they take care of their parents, and well, actually just, you know, there's a lot of countries that do it, but just in general, for them, an example, the little way they take care of their parents, man. You know what I'm saying? Their parents, they see them as, you know what I'm saying, treasures. You know what I'm saying? Whereas other communities don't do that. They stick them in, you know, retirement homes and stuff like that. So it's just, there's no such thing as too much of a contribution in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're alive or, you know, after your death, you can still contribute, and what you put on this earth can still be contributing to that cause.
But don't forget, even if your wife or significant other, whatever, is white, your kids are still black.
True.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? And if you raise your kids in a proper fashion to understand how society views certain things and how, you know, the game is rigged, then your kids will continue what you know what I'm saying, what you left.
But see, you can't say that because those kids are gonna have their own dichotomy also. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen, for example, Logic, who has to defend his blackness because he doesn't look as black as others. You know what I'm saying? He don't look like J. Cole, who looks, you know, more mixed. Logic looks like, he looks like a white guy. You know what I'm saying? So he has to constantly defend his blackness. So they have their own dichotomy. They have their own little situation where, you know what I'm saying, am I not black enough? Am I too white? You know what I'm saying? Like, they have their own little situation that they deal with on a consistent basis also. So you can't automatically assume that they're gonna be, you know, riding for the black race. You can't say that.
Well, in my view, we should have been stopped that. If you 5%
you are
black, you black to me.
But
you know what I mean? I don't go with this whole like light skin, dark skin, red, yellow.
If you had a black person in your family, your parent, whatever, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You're a black person. I don't care how light you look, how dark you look. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I seen it was just this one young lady who seemed like she was trying to pass off as just white, and I looked at her and thought in my head like, man, she looks like she might be black somewhere. I mean, it wasn't like she had like dark skin or anything like that. It was just her lips were really full. Her body was very curvaceous in a black womanish way, and I later found out that yes, her father was like a very light-skinned black guy, and her mother was white. And even though her entire group was all white people and everything, and she pretended to be it and never really brought up her father, it turns out like, yo, you're black, and like I could, like, you know what I'm saying, and it's the essence of blackness in me. I seen it. I'm like, you're white? Like, you're telling me you are white? Because something seems off here. You look like you might be one of us.
That's a question we have to talk about also, because the thing is that, you know, the question I'm thinking about right now is that, is it okay? Because again, there's black people who don't look necessarily black.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But they see it as more advantageous to not portray themselves as black because they can get further in life. What do you feel about that? Because my personal opinion is, you should be proud of who you are, whether white, black. I think everybody should be proud of who they are. You are, you know, something great that was created, and you should be proud of it.
They see a lopsided society.
Definitely.
They're conscious enough to be like, oh, wow, they're really screwing over black people, and they're like, but to me, it's like it's sacrificing the many for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's taking the easier path.
Yeah, like I'm not with that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stand up. Like even when people were bashing Haitians when I was growing up, like I was like, yo, I'm Haitian. You feel me? It's like, well, you know what I'm saying? Are you really Haitian? Yes. Like, yes. I was born in Nassau, Bahamas. My parents are Haitian, and I live in South Florida. I'm Haitian. Period. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. I show the island love. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud that I was born in the Bahamas. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm Haitian. Like, you know what I'm saying? A Chinese family moves to Australia and has a kid. Their kid's still Chinese.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
So, and I totally agree, man. Like, at the end of the day, you have to.
And definitely proud of my West African roots. Shout out to West Africa. Right?
Definitely. But you have to be proud of who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I noticed, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of black people that are not proud to be black. Like, I hear how black people talk about other black people, and it's like, it's sad sometimes, because you hear them say, oh, you know, well, we can't blame this and we can't do that. And I'm like, y'all just don't realize how much, you know what I'm saying, how much black people have to overcome, and how you guys are just kind of, you know, tired of hearing black people complain. But the thing is that they're complaining with good cause. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're complaining about stuff that's not there. It's complaining about things that we see, you know what I'm saying, that are consistently happening and never changing. So,
nah, I definitely understand that. But I'm gonna have to stop it right there. If you like what you heard, watch another video and make sure you check out my boy El Camera.
Y'all already know, man. Peace out.
Till next time.